Oh, it's a good stretch. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Horschig, and today I'm going to talk to you about why this is not the best exercise to fix your tight pecs.
Get up and get down, get up and get down.
All right guys, so how often have you seen people come into the gym and they just grab the bar like this on a rig and they just twist and twist as hard as they can to really try to stretch out their stiff and tight pecs from either benching or doing a lot of push-ups, things like that. They're really putting a lot of torque on the front of their shoulder. Now, when they're doing that, while you may feel a good stretch in the front side of your shoulder, in the pec, a lot of times you're putting a lot of unnecessary stress on your actual shoulder joint by doing that. If you're feeling this stretch in this area at all, it's probably not a very good thing for you. So today I want to show you a couple different variations to help stretch out those really stiff and tight pecs that so many of us get from the different movements that we're doing throughout the day, in the gym, and in life. First thing, I want you to find a corner in your gym. What you're going to do is put your hands up in that position, and you're just going to slowly lean into it. Now again, if you're doing this correctly, you're going to get that stretch in the pecs. Lightly, you will not get that jarring sensation right in the shoulder joint. So hands up here, you are in a lunge position, and then you're slowly just leaning into it like that until you feel a good stretch in your pecs. Now again, you can play around with the shoulder position if you need to try to hit the different parts of the pecs.
Usually a lower arm position will place more of a stretch on the larger pec major. If we zoom in, you can see how the fibers of the muscle run a little bit more laterally, whereas a higher arm position on the wall will place a greater stretch on the smaller pec minor that lies underneath, and whose flexibility can be more of a limiting factor for overhead athletes with mobility restrictions.
But you're going to be sitting in this position. Again, don't arch that low back or really jam in really hard, but just slowly lean into it until you feel a good stretch in those pecs. And you're in a hold. Maybe take 5 deep breaths in and out. That's step 1. Step 2, let's say you don't have a corner, but your gym is filled with PVC pipes like a CrossFit gym or something like that. You're just gonna lay on the bench, grab your PVC pipe, get in this position. Now from right here, you're gonna take that PVC pipe, start off in your clean position or your deadlift grip, and you're just gonna go overhead, keep your low back from really arching, and you're just gonna go until you feel a light stretch in your pecs. Again, if you're feeling like a pinch sensation in your shoulders, just wind your hands out a little bit. Again, you can play around with that to find the optimal arm position to where you're feeling a light stretch in your pecs and not a pain in your shoulders. Do not do this with a really heavy barbell. I've seen some people really crank on this with a loaded barbell and really go back. That's again, putting a lot of unnecessary tension and torque on your shoulder joint. So just here, feeling a good stretch in the pecs, maybe 5 deep breaths in and out, and then back. Something like this. I love doing this, maybe 5 reps total, and then I get up and recheck my overhead positioning, and you will really feel a big difference with this. You do not need to go heavy. So that is number 2. Now, let's say you don't have a gym where there's an available corner because it's filled up with equipment. You don't have a lot of PVC pipes in your gym. Maybe you're working out at a Gold's Gym or something like that. All you have access to is a squat rack or a rig system. Now, yes, you can still do that original stretch, but it's how you do it that's really gonna make the biggest difference. So again, don't get up here and really torque on that joint and put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Get your arm in this position, brace your core, and slowly lunge forward until you feel that pec stretch right here. You should not be feeling this in your shoulder joint. You should not be overarching your low back. Keep your core in a good position, your spine in a good position, and just lightly lean forward. Again, you can change the position of your arm if you want to try to hit the different parts of your pec. So if you want to go maybe a little bit higher and then lean into it, we're going to be hitting a little bit more pec minor probably in this position, whereas a little bit lower, we're hitting a little bit more pec major. So depending on where your restrictions are, the changes in arm position will dictate sort of what part of the muscle you're hitting a little bit more with this stretch. Nice and light, leaning forward. If you want to, you can go at a little bit different angles. But again, as you can see in this position, I'm slightly leaning forward until I get a good stretch in my pecs. I am not pulling very hard and squeezing and torquing on this to feel this in my shoulder joint. If I am, this is going to create some issues at my shoulder eventually. So it's all about getting that stretch in the pec and not creating a lot of excessive force on the shoulder. So I hope that was a very simple and easy video for you guys to give you guys a little bit more efficient way to make sure that you're stretching your pecs and not hurting yourself and creating more issues in the future for your shoulders. Hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. And if there's anything that you guys want to learn about in the next video, let me know in the comment section below. Until then, happy squatting, guys.
They say that energy flows where attention goes, so I pay no mind. Why waste my time with all these negative cats scratching? So caught up in their egos, these people have